Nah, say it with your chest. Don't get quiet now. Don't get quiet now.
I just turn the water on, big old flex, shit you never saw before. These niggas chasing me like waterfalls. Keeping on my truck, look like brains.
What's up, guys? It's your sister, Jessie Woo. Please let me know if you can hear me. I want to make sure that the sound is on. And whoa, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Just want to make sure that you guys can hear me while I'm okay. Yes. Okay, good. Yes. Okay, good. Because I got a lot of things to, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, say it with your chest. Don't get quiet now. Don't get quiet now.
I got a lot of things to say with my chest, child. Okay. So before I get into it, I just want to make sure that you guys like this live. Like this live, please. While you're in this live, like this live. Also, if you're here and you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, so you can join the Black Women's Tribe during Black Women's Haiti Month. Okay. So I have a special guest for tonight. Y'all already know how I'm coming. Y'all know I could not do this without my dog. My dog in journalism. Apparently, we're not journalists. Apparently, we're not journalists. You know, even though we have degrees for like, I literally have a master's degree from the School of Journalism from FIU. Shout out to my Panthers. But I'm gonna let my guest tell y'all her degrees and where she got them from. But before I do that, I do also want to remind y'all I have 5 spots left for Ghana. Literally 5 spots left. So if you don't know how to join me in Ghana, here are the instructions. Woocation, the Ghana edition is here. I'm so excited, y'all. We are going to Dirty December in Ghana. Y'all know I have been talking your ears off about going to Ghana, and I am so excited to finally bring it to you. And we're going to do all the fun things that you saw me do when I went to Ghana 2 years ago, back to back, y'all. Please go to woocationinghana.sortedchalet.com to book your spot. You do not want to miss this because, baby, once it sells out, it sells out. I cannot help you. I cannot. All right. So I will see y'all in Ghana. Again, go to woocationinghana.sortedchalet.com, and I cannot wait to see you for Dirty December. All right, y'all. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring in, Ricky, story time with Ricky. Y'all know the vibes. Like, hey guys, we're back, bitches. Like, woken us from the dead. Girl, mind you, I'm fresh off the, like, literally, I still smell like plane. Like, you look beautiful. Oh my God, you're gonna sit down. Oh girl, no, I literally, like, because I looked crazy. Like, I was like, okay, hold on, let me just do what I can do, child. But sister, I had to bring you on, my fellow non-journalist. I had to bring you on, child.
Yes.
We have a lot to talk about, child.
Yes, we do. People had some things to say.
People have some things to say, but they ain't say it with their chest.
Nah, say it with your chest. Don't get quiet now. Don't get quiet now.
But they ain't say it with their chest. That my only thing is this, and I know we're gonna get into it, right? I just want to know who was AD and Ashley talking about. And for those of y'all who don't know this, like, Ricky sent me this. I'm fresh off a plane from Paris. I was at a wedding. So I didn't see, like, I think like probably like an hour or two passed. And I got back to my hotel and I was able to see your message because I was in a remote part of Paris. Like, my friend got married in like a castle. I can't even tell you what part of Paris it is, child. But my friend's son got, congratulations to her and Mark. But they had us in a remote part of France. And so I didn't see this stuff until I got back to my hotel.
Right.
So then I'm just trying to catch up, but I'm like, I'm not going to go watch And I remember seeing I did a live last night and I was like, everybody kept telling me, oh, there's this podcast. AD and Ashley did a podcast. And I said in my live, I was like, I'm not going to watch it. I don't expect AD to ask Ashley any real questions. I don't expect Ashley to be held accountable. I just don't. But I didn't expect for us to be talked about in this way.
Yeah.
And before I even wanted to go live, like I was on the flight home and I was like, you know what? I'm going to message AD because like, I don't want to just assume anything, even though all the comments are literally not on AD's side. They're not on Ashley's. Like the comment, one thing about the comments, like nationwide might be on your side, AD, but the comments are not.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for Ashley.
Yeah.
The comments are not on y'all side.
Yeah.
So I just want to show y'all, before I take off on Miss Leave Out, I sent her a DM. Just so y'all know, I sent her a DM because I wanted to ask her, like, you know, person to person, like, have I ever said anything to you? Have I ever done anything to you personally? Like, if you have any grievances, like literally, I said, hey, my sister's been tagging me all over your TikTok and IG. Apparently, I'm disgusting amongst other things. Before I make a response, I'd actually like to know what I did to you personally. Do you have any grievances that you would like to address? People kept tagging me in the post. I would respond to a couple people here. So like, I know you know that I messaged you. I know you know that. But you know, some folks be soft ass hoes. They can get on their platforms and they can act like not naming you is not putting an address to you. Everybody knew who you were talking about. Everybody knew.
Yeah. Just like everybody knew who Ashley was talking about when she took subtle jabs all throughout her press tour for Tyler, calling us journalists and, you know, TikTok, you know, journalists, and then bringing up our story that we broke right after it. Like, who else are you talking about? Like,
literally. So the Unblendables, we know who the fuck y'all were talking about. And my thing is like, I don't know. You know what really, like, if I'm talking about someone, like I'm gonna just say their name, like especially like in a thing like this, I would just say the person's name, or I wouldn't even mention them. When I look at that, I didn't watch the full episode. I've seen the breakdowns. We didn't even need to be mentioned. Like that didn't even need to be a thing that was brought to the podcast.
Right.
It's two birds chirping, chirp with each other.
Yeah. And we were brought up, if you guys haven't watched the interview, at the 42-minute mark. And it starts as a discussion of like, people were preying on your downfall, and then insert, you know, them literally AD referring to, she literally says, you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Like there's a very loud presence. And I feel like AD was referencing you directly. And I feel like Ashley she kept saying they. She kept saying they.
Right.
So clearly you're talking about us both. And it's cruel and disgusting. The way that we were, and then Ashley saying that we were just trying to take her down. It wasn't about the kids. We were trying to take her down. Like, what reason would we have to take Ashley down? Like, it is a story. It's a story. Like, there's no personal beef. There's no personal vendetta. It's a fucking story. And we're journalists. So we're covering a story.
No, we're not journalists. Please.
I'm a journalist.
We're not journalists. But I'm going to tell you this. The fact that, and let me say, before we get into the podcast too, I just want to say this. Ashley doing 80s DEI podcasts where she's being puppeteered by Kinetic and Love is Blind to be their token raccoon should be a recession indicator for y'all. Okay?
Yeah.
This is what DEI looks like for Pariah and Chris Colleen and Kinetic. Okay? They want Black women to chastise other Black women who are literally holding Love is Blind and that platform accountable for their mistreatment of Black women. AD, when you said I'm a loud presence on the internet, you are goddamn right. I'm loud about abuse, whether it be sexual, physical, money, emotional, and I have been very loud about Chris Colleen being raggedy. As a matter of fact, it was in your season. It was in your season when you were being a bird that I literally started calling Chris Colleen a raggedy bitch. Because even though you were being a bird, I actually could see that Clay was not only not interested in you, but Clay did not want marriage. And I didn't think that it was just a Clay and you thing. I knew that was something that I felt production knew. Yeah. And I kept talking about that. Like, I kept saying that in my reviews. Like, I even peeped that we hardly saw you and Clay together in your home that you had together. And I would say that. I'll be like, y'all, Chris Colleen's raggedy ass, they're not filming while they're in their homes together. And then lo and behold and lo, when Clay went on the Dear Future Wifey podcast, Clay confirmed what I had thought. He said the only time y'all would film, the only time he would see you is when it was time to film. Yeah. I use my platform constantly. Yeah. Constantly to talk about the mistreatment that Kinetic, Love is Blind, Married at First Sight. I talk about how they constantly mistreat Black women by being intentional with the garbage men that they place on the show, simply because Black female rage is very profitable. And for you, Mrs. Leave Out, for you to use a conversation centered around Liler, who abandoned 3 children after he conned 4 women, 2 landlords, and an entire network, while you sit across from your twin, your bird twin, who has been calling those kids who he abandoned sperm donor babies. For you to use that platform, for you to use that conversation to call me disgusting and to call my actions disgusting and cruel, but never, ever use those words to describe Liler. So that is, and not only is that raccoon behavior, that is an insane level of pick me that I have never seen in my life. Yeah. I have never seen that level of pick me. Right. You're a knitter. Knitter. Like, you are a whole knitter. A whole knitter. The call keeps coming from inside the house. What house? I'm sorry, Ricky. I'm gonna let you get to it. I just need to get this off. What house do you be talking about, AD? Because at my house, my man is not hiding 3 children. Yeah. The call is coming from inside the house, and you got 2 birds just chirping. Yeah. The call is coming from inside the house. What house? What house? Yeah. Mind you, the bird sitting across from you, I never called her a bird until she came forward and started talking shit about them kids. Right. Just quack, 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 quack. 2 birds chirping. 2 knitters. 2 knitters. And you take that conversation, you take a conversation that surrounds 3 Black children being abandoned. Mind you, the bird sitting across from you was on the same platform talking about how her daddy wasn't in her life. Yeah. That's the conversation that y'all chose to throw shade at me and Ricky, or just me, or I don't know which one, because, you know.
Nah, say it with your chest. Don't get quiet now. Don't get quiet now.
You're not saying it with your chest?
Yeah, at us. Just at us at this point. Have us on the pod. You know what I mean? You want to talk? Like, let's talk. Like, that's how I feel.
I'm done. Yeah. I'm going to bring back something else too, because we're going to talk about disgusting and cruel too. But Miss Journalist, go ahead and just, because I know you watched the entire interview, but let me get your thoughts, because those were my initial thoughts about that.
So I think initially, my initial thoughts as I'm going through the interview is like, I am seeing a lack of accountability. And I think that as soon as AD, as the host, said that she didn't even watch Bry's videos, I said, oh, here we are getting another podcast where you're not fully equipped to even have this conversation because you don't know what's going on, you know? So that was like my main.
So she didn't even watch. She didn't even know what she was talking about.
No. So I feel,
chirping.
Yeah,
In
that sense, like AD, I mean, Ashley was able to, you know, kind of say some things where I feel like me and you would have been like, oh, okay, well, her videos weren't out, but this was out, like, you know, things of that sort. I feel like first of all, AD. I just have to tell you guys one part of the interview.
Somebody said Ricky got notes.
In the beginning, girl, like it's like 5 pages. Like I'm not even joking.
Bruh. Oh my God. Okay. We're gonna get into it.
Yeah, like at one point.
Let's get into AD's DEI podcast. Let's get into it.
She said, so she asked, like, Ashley, like, how has it gone from like, how do you feel like going from being single, like being married to being single? And Ashley had the nerve to say, you guys, I shit you not, she said that what she misses about being married is she misses being part of this secret wives club, which again is screaming desperation to be married to me, and the friendships that she made with people who are married, and that professionally people treat you different when you're married. That's what she misses about being married. I mean, you were married for 3.5 seconds.
Mind you, you was married to somebody homeless. Actually, if I was really praying for your downfall, I would have had Simone Redwine on this live.
Jesse, she actually said at one point in the interview that Tyler was sleeping on her couch because she had to give him a 30-day notice, and he was still sleeping on her couch because she had to give him a 30-day notice before she could like officially kick him out.
One thing about us, we may not be journalists, but we was always right.
Yeah, and that was the main takeaway. That was the main takeaway, is that everything that she said, like, AD was asking her, like, what did you find? Because, you know, Ashley said she found all the proof herself. Granted, we found it, but she said she found everything herself. And when asked, like, what did you find? She was not able to give specifics of what she found. Like, all she ultimately said is that she believes that he fathered the twins and conceived them naturally, and that Cairo was initially supposed to be a sperm donor situation, which was literally our story. So, and she kept saying, I found out other things, but AD never even asked, like, oh, well, what else did you find out? That he was broke, obviously. Everything that we said was valid and it was true. So I'm like,
so she never got asked any real questions.
No
follow-up questions.
No.
Okay, DEI podcast.
The only thing that she asked her was like, so was he a sperm donor, yes or no?
Two knitters.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because like I said, and we're gonna bring up the recordings too, but these were all things that, to me, Ashley should have known. I even saw a clip where she said, let me see if I can find it. I saw a clip where she said that, hold on. Is this the clip? Okay, no. I think somewhere in the podcast, Ashley said that she wished that Bri had came out with her 5-part tell-all before the reunion, right? And I thought that was so interesting because didn't she say the internet didn't know more than she knew? Also, that she had did her research. Mm-hmm. She said that she had been with this man for a year. Y'all ain't married, like, you know, and it shows. So Bri didn't need to tell you anything.
Yeah, but you know what was out at the time of the reunion? Bri's initial statement. Her initial statement that she put on her Instagram story, and she combated his lie that he had told on camera about spending Christmas alone. That was out. Her initial statement saying the kids are not sperm donors were out, and you still went on the reunion and called them sperm babies. Again,
the pictures with matching pajamas were out.
Yes, were out. The grandmother had spoken. The ex-wife had spoken. The child support that he owed child support was out. So AD, the birth
I just point out the birth certificates were out.
Because she brought the birth certificate up on the reunion. The pictures of him being at the twins' birth were out. So AD, how did you sit there and allow her to say, oh, my take would have been completely different had Bry's videos been out? She said that she wouldn't have went out there so boldly had her videos been out. Enough was out. Enough was. Bry had made a statement. She had made a statement. She just, her 5-part video wasn't out, and I didn't like that they kept saying 5-part, and they kept taking little digs. Like AD or Ashley called her a lengthy explanation, and AD literally had the nerve to say, you don't need 5 parts to say that you slept with somebody. Okay, well, maybe if you watched it, you would know what she actually said, because you said you didn't watch it. So
it's so crazy because because even from what you're saying and some of the clips I've seen on TikTok, it's as if AD and Ashley had more heat for us and the baby mama than they had heat for Liler.
Yeah.
Like literally. And let me make something very clear, because I'm going to play receipts. I want to play receipts because even I caught a clip where Ashley said that we were going harder at her than we were going at this man. Tyler doesn't even, everybody calls Tyler Liler because Ricky gave him that name. And that's the name we went by. Ricky baptized that man Liler. And from then on, the entire internet, that wasn't a me thing. That was a Ricky thing. She called that man Liler. And from then on, the entire internet baptized this man Liler.
Yeah. Like, we dragged him every chance we got. Like you said, we supported her up until the reunion when it was like, oh, you're complicit in this. That's when everybody, like everyone was waiting for her moment at the reunion to say, I pray that she walked away from this man who clearly bamboozled her. And then when you didn't, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to support you calling them sperm babies when you already knew they were not sperm babies at that point? Like girl.
Remember too, she was using Jesus, God as a reason for all this. We were supposed to support that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what she did. I felt like she had a lot of smoke. She didn't call Tyler one name. Like, not to say that you have to go up there and shit on him. She actually said that she was being careful with her words because she didn't want to tell his story for him. And she actually at one point made a comment and said, I'm going to be careful how I address the kids because y'all like to harp on what I call them and what I say to them. And she calls herself giving Bri a half-ass apology. At the 18-minute mark, she gives her an I as a woman, I apologize, but she gave her one of those. She said, I apologize for anything I said against her that might have been true. But there are a lot of complexities regarding the consumption of the twins, like how they were conceived. Like,
I caught that too. She literally still has so much heat for Bri.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird, which just lets you know, had the internet not found this out, Ashley would still be with Liler.
Yeah.
She would still be with that man.
Right.
This was never really about finding a husband. It was just about having the title. Mm-hmm. She was just very desperate for that title, and no shade, so was AD. Now I haven't seen Perfect Match. You know, none of us have seen Perfect Match, but I wouldn't be surprised if we watched Perfect Match and AD was being the same pick me that she was on Love is Blind. Here's the thing, like, I think what
I was going to say that I had gotten some tea about Perfect Match and how it went down. Now, I do believe the editing, they now that AD and Ollie are engaged, they can edit it to look however the hell they want. But upon initial filming, I was told that Ollie played in, sorry, I have a dog here.
Oh, she want to chat too.
Yeah, that Ollie played in AD's face and constantly picked girls over her and the entire show, and then like settled on her in the end. That's what I'm told. Now, how it's going to be edited and portrayed now that they're Kinetic and Netflix happy couple, I don't know. But that is what I was told, that he's going to play in her face the whole time, pick girls over her, and then ultimately settle on her.
I'm not going to hold you. I have a contact who told me the same thing.
Oh,
the only reason why I wasn't going to talk about that is because I had Ollie on my platform. I've always liked Ollie. People hated Ollie from his season. I didn't. Folks kept saying he doesn't like Black women. I didn't side with that. When him and AD got engaged, I congratulated them. I left them comments. I think like 2 to 3 weeks ago, Ollie and I was exchanging DMs. Like, he saw something funny that my man did, and he was like, "Yo, your dude, like he's funny though. Like he's funny." He made a comment like that, and I was like, "Yeah, like he's a terrorist. Like we're cool." So even like that's another reason why this shade, like Ashley, I can understand, because Ashley, and we're gonna get more into Ashley, but the shade coming from AD was crazy to me because I'm just like, sister, I've never talked about you any different than I do any other contestant on this show. You were being a bird on your show, on your season.
Yeah.
But I always said, like, you deserve more. I always said, AD, you need to love yourself more. When those people were sexualizing AD's body, I said, no, this is racist. Like, I literally defended, like, I use my platform to talk about that constantly. When people were talking about her leave out and how crunchy it was, I never joined in that discussion. I'm going to join it now.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to join it now.
Yeah,
but I never did that.
My commentary was very positive about AD. I think I might have said something about her eyelash, but it's like, I can't say nothing about your eyelash. Like, your eyelash was wonky. It was fucked up. It wasn't glued on right. Like, I can't say nothing about your eyelash. Like, come on. Honestly, like, I was very kind to AD during her season. I actually stalled her out on a really big story during her season. Like, I could have released some shit that I had on AD that I didn't even tell the story because of relevance. Because I was like relevant. I seen that she was, getting love and she was a fan favorite. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna let her have her moment. Like, I'm not even gonna do that. You know what I mean? I stalled her out.
And that's the thing too. It's like, I think a lot of folks don't understand. People come to Ricky, people come to me. There were a lot of things. AD went on the Catfish Lady podcast when Clay's homeboys were online talking about that sugar daddy info. If y'all only knew, if only you knew, sister, there were receipts.
Yeah.
And we just didn't care because we were too focused on Clay and Chris Colleen and the treatment of Black women, period. We didn't care. I even said when I reviewed her podcast episode that she did with the Catfish Lady, I said, you know what? If she had a sugar daddy, so what?
Yeah.
So what? And I've seen people online, oh, Jessie was dragging AD. Show the clips. I don't ever see no clips. See, the thing is, when people really have ammunition towards me, they'll have clips. Y'all have never posted a clip.
Yeah.
I've never talked about that lady differently than I do any cast member who does Love is Blind.
Right.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Like,
I don't know her.
Feedback. Like, and obviously, like, your feedback and your recaps are based on a character that's being portrayed on a show. Like, I don't know why it has to be so personal, or if that we have to grant immunity as Black creators. We have to grant immunity and not give our honest take because the calls coming from inside the house, like, girl, okay, like, your leave out trash, like, your eyelashes sucked, like, and you were on television acting stupid for Clay, like, you still got a very positive edit, AD. You walked out of there a fan favorite, and now you have a podcast working for Kinetic and Netflix. Like, you had a great edit. Like, what's the problem? Like, people like you.
Literally. Like, people literally are looking past your coonery, and while I say that, I'm gonna bring this up because I want to bring up your coonery, because I really take what you said personal when you said, hold on, let me bring up what you had sent me. Let me bring up what you had sent me, because hold on.
I won't be tied the house. Yes, praying, praying on your downfall. You know, in the most cruel, disgusting a way I have ever seen people prey on someone. And it came from, again, inside the house. Yes, it did. And I don't want to say no one's name in particular, but there is a very loud presence on the internet that just, it was almost like she was just sitting there waiting, checking. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yes. Checking daily, waiting. Yeah. I think that they kept hiding behind the fact that it was for the kids. It was for the kids.
We're gonna get Ashley later. But I just want to bring this up because, you know, like how it's coming from inside the house. And, you know, I just never seen anything so disgusting and cruel in my life. Like, oh my God.
We were waiting on y'all was waiting on us to post because you knew we had the tea and the receipts. Like we weren't waiting on y'all wasn't sending us shit. Y'all wasn't posting shit. Y'all was waiting on us. Y'all was checking our pages. Okay.
Literally. Okay. I want to bring this up. Hold on. Give me a moment. Hold on. Hold on. Okay.
One of the guys here that was like, there's no way this is going to happen. I'm definitely not going to fall in love with anybody. And then I meet that person over there.
Now, hold on. So I just want to take you guys back to something because I want to talk about raccoon behavior. And I want to talk about why AD's DEI podcast with Kinetic exists. Because instead of talking about issues like this, AD is in the house. The house where the call is coming from. She's in this house.
Knitter!
All right. So hold on, child. Hold on. So I want to bring this back because, oh Lord, hold on. How do I add this back, child? What's going on? I want to bring back this. I want to bring back this clip. So remember during her season, after everybody got proposed to, and I guess like everyone was on their honeymoons at the time. I'm trying to get it to where we're both on the screen. Why is it not letting me do that? Okay, there it is. When they got to their honeymoon, and you know, there was this exchange that happened between her and this woman here. Do you remember her name?
Laura?
I think
Laura.
Was it Laura?
I think it was Laura.
I don't remember her name. Maybe it's Laura. But anyway, so Laura had this thing.
Lauren.
Laura. Okay. So Lauren had this thing that she did to AD, I guess off camera. Or maybe she did it on camera, but they didn't show it. And it was called bean dipping.
Gorgeous girl.
She is gorgeous. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's taught me about
So now you have Jeremy, who was her fiance at the time. Okay.
Right.
Miss Leavout is sitting here with Clay.
Yes.
Here is Lauren's fiance. And I want y'all to hear what he tells her.
what is it? Bean dip? She told me you would know what that means.
Bean dip? Not the bean dip.
And Laura is signaling him to do it to her. Let's talk about cruel. Let's talk about disgusting. Let's talk about that. This is a white woman sending her white fiance, a white man, to come to you. And even Clay is sitting there like
what? Yeah, like why is that? How is that? Where would that be funny? Like,
why does this white man think he can come over here and say this to you.
Yeah.
But if you watch that entire scene, the cast was literally passing AD, or like in that entire scene. I'm not gonna. I reviewed this, but if you watch that scene, it's a whole bunch of white people talking about AD's ass, passing her around, sexualizing her, and she loved it. She basked in it, like she was basking in it.
Yeah.
Oh, the glory that was. That she saw no cruelty in that. No disgustingness in that.
Yeah.
I said, Jimmy, do it when walking. She will literally die.
She told me to do it to you, and I was like, I'm gonna get fucking canceled.
She told me to do it to you.
I'm gonna get canceled. Like,
So I want to show y'all something else. What's AD's EDI podcast? I found it. Never mind.
Oh yeah, what's the reality? And apparently she had Laura on her podcast.
Yes, we did. You see where I'm going. You see where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
You see where I'm going. Because, you know, I'm a journalist. Fuck what Miss Leabout said and fuck what Miss Big Bird said. Bitch, I'm a journalist.
Listing your vacation rentals.
Like, I'm actually a journalist. For real, for real. And one thing about it is I remembered seeing a clip where she had Laura, or Lauren, is it Lauren? Whatever. On her podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Laura.
Laura, right, whatever. Now, apparently, because this is Netflix affiliated, they be doing copyrights or whatever. Listen, I ain't got time. But what I'm gonna do is I am going to click on the transcript. So when you click on a transcript, guys, you can see every word that's mentioned. YouTube has that AI where you can see every word that's mentioned. So I'm gonna look up bean dip. Zero mention. Zero mention. And remember at their reunion too, Laura was basically able to be like, people took that out of context. People took it too seriously.
Yeah.
AD was in that the dude's face telling him to speak with his chest, right? The guy who was caught cheating on his girlfriend. But she never had that energy for the white woman.
Right.
Who not only titty slapped her, but sent her white husband to do the same thing. Never had that energy. I even looked up Bean. I said, well, did they even say Bean?
Yeah. She didn't care. She literally saw nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it.
She thought it was just like playful, friendly banter.
Nothing wrong with it. Never addressed that lady whatsoever about what her and her white fiance did to her.
Right.
But you have all this energy for me, Ricky, who literally held Kinetic's feet to the fire, Chris Colleen's feet to the fire, because remember, hold on, let me bring this up. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get back.
No,
I'm gonna
let.
I
just letting it out all day, so I get it.
No, because I want folks to see. I want folks to see that this was all our work. So let me look up Chris Colleen. Remember I think it was a here it is. Here it is. Hold on. All right. Boom. Okay. Ricky and I were putting so much pressure on Kinetic. Chris Colleen had the Hollywood Reporter. Like, I want y'all to understand, the Hollywood Reporter got better shit to talk about than this.
Right.
The Hollywood Reporter had to speak to Chris Colleen about Ashley and Tyler.
Yeah.
Because the way I was pushing out information, Ricky was pushing out information, we had Simone Redwine pushing out information. And honestly, this was bigger than Ashley. Like, I know, Ashley, you're very arrogant, you're very self-centered, and you think this is all about you. it's actually not all about you. This is about the same Black women who now you're trying to pander to while also gaslighting. This is about future Black women who are going to go on this show for them to understand what this show is doing.
Right.
This man said, let me go down. He said, hold on. I'm trying to see what the vetting process is. Well, a couple things. One is we have a very rigid vetting process. This is what he said. After they asked him, Tyler choosing not to disclose that he has children until late in the season has brought up questions about the vetting process. What can you share about vetting participants on Love is Blind? Right. This was his response. We have background checks and psychological evaluations. Everyone in the world has a story. We aren't the police. And even you, Big Bird, when you went on the VAW files, which is titled very accurately, you yourself said that there was a moment where you felt production already knew.
Yeah. Well, she backtracked on that in AD's podcast. She backtracked on it because
she did.
Yeah, she did. So they did. AD did ask her. One question that she did ask her was, let me go to chapter 2 of my notes. So I can get a direct quote. She did ask her, like, how do you think that Tyler was able to get, like, how he was able to finesse and get through casting? Like, she was like, the rigid process that we go through. Like, how do you think this slipped through the cracks? And now she's claiming that production didn't know a thing, that production would often praise Tyler. She said that production would praise Tyler.
No way.
And that they would cry and thank him for his service of fucking, like his sperm donor service. And she said that she thinks that casting didn't know anything more than that he had sperm babies because the pictures and everything must have been scrubbed before the casting process. But we know that that's not true because Bri said she noticed the pictures go missing after the vacation.
Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? What a bird.
Yeah.
The biggest bird.
Yeah.
The biggest bird. Imagine knowing that these people knew, and now you're lying for these same people who set you up. And then not only are you lying for the same people that set you up, but then you're setting fire to the rain by blaming Black women and then blaming us. When these motherfuckers set you up, they set you up, and it just sounds like basically probably they're trying to set her up to make another reality show appearance. But it's like, sister, we do not care.
Yeah, she said she's open to doing another reality TV show, another dating show. And I had like this inkling that maybe they're trying to put her on the next season of Perfect Match. They're definitely trying to give her a redemption tour to put her on something else. But we don't want to see it. Like, we don't want to see it. Like, production would cry to Tyler and thank him for his service and just thought he was such an amazing guy. That's what she said.
That doesn't even sound right. I mean, like, production crying. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yep.
That don't even sound right.
Everyone was so moved by his story, his sperm donor story. Yep. That's what she said.
Listen, if production was crying, they was playing in your face. That was the same production team from the Jerry Springer show. They were playing in your face. They're playing in your face because I know Ashley loves to talk about how wise she is and how smart she is. Sister, the lights are like nobody's home.
Oh, she said that about 100 times in the interview. Like, okay, really like 5, where she talked about how wise she was, how intuitive she is, how she's been beating herself up because she just can't fathom how this got past her. Granted, then in the next breath, she said that the first red flag that she saw in Tyler came a month into the marriage. So everyone has to remember that the cheating scandal or the children's scandal broke out when they were already married. Like, they had been married for a year at that point. She said her first red flag from Tyler came a month into the marriage. But at that point, she was already married and did not want to get divorced.
Mind you, saying that your first red flag came a month into the marriage, which basically is a month after the wedding day, when we all saw that while you were engaged, this man told you that blatant lie. And then at the reunion, you told us that you helped them come up with a story to call them kids donor babies.
Yeah.
So those wasn't red flags for you, Miss Bird?
Yeah.
Those wasn't red flags for you?
Yeah.
What other notable moments?
Like,
is being wise in the room with us?
I don't know, but she said it a lot. She said that what she was clinging to was the fact that she couldn't wrap her head around the reason somebody would lie like this. So she was just hoping that something like proving his innocence would come forward, because she couldn't wrap her head around why somebody would lie to the extent knowing that the truth is out there. She said that that's what she was like holding on to. She said that. And she said
she did her research, so she would have seen the court cases from other women suing him for their money.
Because again, on the reunion and on the Vile Files, she had this like, right, I did my research, like who knows more than me, I did my research. And then in this interview, she literally said that her discernment didn't kick in until after the reunion, and she did her research after the reunion once Bry's videos were out. And again, AD should have said, oh, okay, on the reunion, you said you had done research. So are you now saying that you didn't do your research until Bry's videos were out? Because she changed her story.
Well, AD wasn't going to say that to her. AD and Ashley were looking in the mirror. Two birds chirping. It was literally like they're looking in the mirror.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was a Pick Misha meetup. This was like, oh my God. Me and you, we never part. This was it was a color purple moment. It was like seeing your long lost sister that you were in the womb with, that you didn't know y'all was twins, and y'all been bonded your entire lives, and finally y'all have been reunited, and it feels so good. It was a mirror. It's like, it's me.
It's me. Yeah. Okay. So another important part, Ashley said that before the reunion, she says she took Tyler by the hands and she started choking up in this part of the interview. She said she asked him if she is sleeping with the enemy, and asked him if there's anything she needed to know and not to feed her to the wolves. And he said there's nothing else. And that's why she went out there so boldly.
You know what's crazy? Something tells me that is a bold-faced lie. That's a bald-headed lie. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the way Ashley had them feathers on and started at the reunion more than he did. Remember, Lila barely spoke.
Yeah. Yeah. She said he didn't know what to say, so she spoke for him. That's what she said.
So that means that you were speaking for him the entire time. Because that man never knew what to say. He never knew what to say, which is why y'all came on camera and you said the thing about the sperm donor babies. Ashley, here's the thing. You think folks were praying for your downfall. I know 80's the one who said it, but then you also said it too. Sister, you were your own downfall. We have to be honest, because I'm going to play some clips. We have to be honest. You see, on this channel, literally, we had a saying, we ride for Ashley at dawn. That was the saying that I had.
Yeah.
All my sisters were saying it. We ride for Ashley at dawn.
Right.
And even when things started coming out, I kept calling you a victim. I kept calling you a victim. I kept saying, this lady's a victim.
Right.
This lady's a victim.
Right.
But the thing was, you went out of your way to be a bird. Like, it was like, this was the most pigeonist behavior. Can pigeons fly? Are they birds? They consider birds?
They're birds, for sure.
Okay, can they fly?
Yeah, pigeons can fly.
Okay, period. So that was the most, I'm sorry, I'm not a zoologist.
You're also not a journalist, apparently.
Please. This was the most pigeonist behavior I have ever seen. Like, you took off on us. Took off. To the point where it was like, okay, sister, we at this point, I can't support you.
Yeah. She also said that social media drove her closer to Tyler. That's what she said. That all the social media of it all drove her.
You lying now.
She did. I promise you, she said that. And she said they drove me to therapy. Like, and I'm guessing she means the internet. Like, we, not the liar who traumatized you drove you to therapy, but the internet. But she did. She said that what people didn't realize was that the social media of it all, and she was having panic attacks in the middle of the night, that it just drove her closer to Tyler, to the guy who was doing it to her. She said that.
So right. So the man that was at the center of what was happening to you, we were driving you closer to that man.
That's what she said.
That's insane.
Yeah. It was like she did not
take insane work.
Any accountability. She did not apologize to the kid. When she gave Bri the half-ass apology, she didn't even address her by name. You know, they didn't talk about the exchange between Bri and Ashley and how Ashley tried to, you know,
lie. Remember, she went on the Val Files. She lied on Bri. Because we have to talk about why social media turned on Ashley too.
Right.
It wasn't just that she was standing by Tyler.
Yeah.
Sperm donor babies came from you and Tyler. Like, both of y'all said that in unison.
She said she's sorry. She did say that at the time she didn't mean to demean the kids by calling them sperm donor babies, but at the time that's what she believed that they were. And again, I will reiterate that Bri's statement saying sperm donor babies they are not was out, and you still chose to call them sperm donor babies.
Literally. Still chose to do that.
Yep.
Still chose to do that. And then you went on the Val Files and called them sperm babies again. And then on the Val Files, you even said they can talk to Tyler when they turn 18. Like, when they turn 18, if they want to speak to him, like, you were basically saying, like, fuck them kids.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think that she had more of a role in it than she let on.
Absolutely.
In the interview. And I think that's why, I don't know if you've seen Tyler's post where he's like kind of putting a PSA out there that he wants to talk on a podcast. He enough is enough. He enough is enough is like, bruh, shut the like, you still suck. Like, you're no victim. But he put it like, I don't care what podcast, big or small, like I'm ready to talk, basically. I'm just saying. I'm saying. The thing is like, right, it's a catch-22 because you don't want to platform a horrible person who's just gonna lie. But I feel like the only people that he literally cannot lie to, Jessie, is me and you. Like, we're all the only people he cannot lie to.
It's literally us.
I'm blocked.
I blocked him, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about unblocking him to be like, hey.
Hey, so saw that post. Totes down.
Because here's my thing, is like, if we were to do something like that, he would need to tell the truth. Like, you would have to tell the bona fide truth.
Right.
I honestly feel, this is just a feeling, I don't have any proof. But I honestly feel like Tyler would be able to provide receipts that shows that Ashley helped him with the PR of all this. Even when he went on the Dear Future Wifey podcast, he said that it was Ashley who told him to go, that it was Ashley who said, like, you know, that was going to be a safe, I'm paraphrasing, but it was Ashley that said it's going to be a safe place. Like, and remember, he finally went on the Dear Future Wifey podcast because Ashley was doing podcast after podcast after podcast. And even me, I left the comment and I was like, girl, stop talking.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, but I have to tell my truth. I'm like, no. You need to let Liler talk. This is not your doing.
Right.
But the way it's like there's caping for somebody and then there's falling on the sword for someone.
Yeah.
And I just feel like she was falling on the sword way too hard for her not to have a part in the orchestration of that. I think ultimately she really wanted to be married. She wanted the brand deals. She wanted to do the tutorials. She wanted the brand trips. Like, I get it. It's so funny for her to talk about the fact that, what we were doing was clickbait. Sister, you going on Love is Blind, that's clickbait.
Yeah. She called herself.
It wasn't clickbait when we were saying things that you were in support of.
Exactly. It wouldn't have been clickbait. It would have never been clickbait if we made videos after videos of how much we love you and Tyler and how awesome you guys are and what a cute couple you guys are. It wouldn't have been clickbait then, but it's clickbait because it's not something you want to hear. Yeah. She called herself a celebrity in the interview. She referenced herself as a celebrity. She actually said, hold on. She said that that we should humanize her, and if you do this for another said celebrity, to just be mindful of the delivery.
Girl, fuck you. Girl, fuck you. Like, after, like, let me tell you, the thing is, like, you learned nothing. You literally learned nothing. It's just air in there. You learned nothing. Like, you literally encourage your husband to abandon 3 kids. Girl, fuck you.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, what you did was inhumane. Like, you want to talk about inhumane? You use the word inhumane, literally. Mind you, you were sleeping next to a child abandoner.
Yeah.
Literally. And I just want to bring this up too, because I want to talk about, I just want to make sure that people are aware of how we were talking about her. Because even you, when I was looking for these clips, I was like, dang, even you said something in one of these clips, and I'm gonna bring it up, but I just want to make sure that y'all hear, because I saw a couple places where people were like, oh, and yeah, I mean, they're the dum-dums. It's gonna be some birds that there's gonna be like a couple birds that are gonna, like, you know, fly with you and AD. You know, birds of a feather flock together.
Right.
But for the most part, folks knew that we were actually supporting Ashley a lot in the beginning.
Yeah.
Here's me.
Yeah.
Y'all need to do that so that Ashley can have a chance to clear her name. I think that she's a victim in all of this. I do not think this girl had or was equipped with all the information that we've been made equipped with.
That's literally that was everybody's narrative. Everybody was like, she's finding out with the world. She's finding out with the rest of us. Give her some grace. She doesn't know. That's what I said in my videos. I kept saying, literally, give her some grace, give her some grace, give her some grace. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. I think she's finding all of this out with the rest of us. And then you went on the reunion and said, you think I didn't know? And that's when we all said, oh, okay, so you did know. So then, then you fucked too.
Literally. I want to play a small clip from this video. This is all 3 of us together. Hold on.
Looking, do you think Ashley can revive her image? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
She's a victim here.
She's still a victim. Like, I've always said
the way she has to go about it, because she came at it with her chest poked out. She has to humble herself. And I'm not sure if she's there yet, considering in her statement, she didn't apologize to Bri. She didn't apologize to those kids.
That's true.
You didn't even acknowledge them.
And like Ricky, you called it there. Thank you so much, Mika, for this comment too. I remember being annoyed Jessie gave that lady so much grace. I knew she was full of it. Like, those were my comments for a while too. Like, folks were like, girl, let it go. Like, she's not innocent. Like, we called you a victim. Even Simone was like, girl, if you need my services, I will give it to you for free. Like, all this information, we were even looking up how Ashley could divorce Lilar and not have any financial ties to this man.
Yeah.
Like, anybody on the internet, whether it be Big Bird Ashley or whether it be Miss Leave Out AD, sitting there lying to y'all, telling y'all that black women this, black women that, black women creators this, black women creators that, they're lying. They're lying.
Yeah.
I just showed y'all a whole bunch of clips. And when I save this live, you can go back and play it. Cut them up. Put them on TikTok.
Yeah.
Cut them up.
Yeah.
Because those of y'all who are saying, oh, Jessie was dragging AD. Put the clips out. Post the clips. I want to see it. Post the clips. Post the clips.
Yeah.
Post them.
Yeah.
Post them. Y'all be lying just like them. It literally was an interview of two birds chirping. And y'all are two male-centered, birdie-ass, soft-ass hoes chirping.
Yeah.
Where y'all are talking about black women and literally not having that energy for the men that y'all were with. The men that y'all were being pick-me's for. Literally.
I just don't and again, I said it in that clip. I said, I think she did, but she has to go about it the right way. And you still didn't go about it the right way. Do you know how like open the audience would have been to her, like sitting down, like, I guess the internet does know more than me, making a joke about it and being like, damn, like this man had me out here looking like Boo Boo the Fool. Like I never want to be in a space like that for a man again. Thank you to the content creators out there that tried to help me see it. I wasn't in a space to see it, but I see it now and I got out. Thank you guys.
Yo, this is me when it was announced that she was divorcing.
You were celebrating. Now, I did laugh. I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't. I laughed because for me, she had taken too many personal digs at me at that point. Like, you know,
yes, she did.
Went on the Vile Files and basically said that I made up text threads and wanted them to come off that they were Tyler and that they weren't. And she called me a TikTok journalist and she called me. So yeah, I did have an I told you so moment. But
as you should.
Yeah, like again, like everybody, my point is not that I didn't drag you. My point was that I supported you until you showed me there was nothing to support. And she actually said that, like, I thought it was very interesting. She said that, right? Like she said about her, none of you guys have been married and it shows. She says that what she meant by that, she said, first of all, anybody.
Remember, she said, we need to mind our business because we not married, we're single and it shows. We not married and it shows.
She said that it was not an attack on single women. And if you took it as an attack, that's your own personal problem. She said that what she meant by it, that we were expecting her to up and bounce immediately. And she said, if it's your real marriage, non-show related, that's not what you would do. You would follow that man to court and support him until it was time to walk away. And that's what the internet, that's what me and Jessie did for you. We supported you until it was time to walk away. When you went on that reunion and told us that you did your research and that you know more than us and we don't know what we're talking about and those kids are sperm babies, you said you did the research. You said you knew what you were talking about. That is when we walked away. That's what we said. Oh, okay, she's complicit. Oh, okay. Like you know exactly what's going on and you're okay with it. So, okay, you suck too.
Literally. Thank you. Somebody just said, she said y'all sad and single, period.
Yeah. Now, welcome back, Mitch.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. Me and Ricky ain't. Divorced. Mind you, your divorce ain't final. We don't know the ins and outs of that. See, if I was really praying for your downfall, I would do coverage on your divorce.
She says she can officially file May 21st at 11:59. So that's actually today.
I knew. We already knew with everything going on. Attorney Simone Redwine had literally laid that out for us. Right. The time of which you could do because of the contract that you were on. Right. And again, too, my platform, Ricky's platform, is talking about the predatory contract that Love is Blind specifically has for their contestants, as well as Married at First Sight. It is such a predatory contract. I've talked about people being abused, whether it was sexually, physically, on that show. I have a whole special on my platform where I talk about incidents from other Love is Blind. I think there was one from Brazil where one woman was violated sexually. There was one in in another country where a woman had a DV incident, and there was DV incidents happening that you could see on the show. That's what we have used our platform for. Yeah. And I just want to go back to AD really quickly, because to be honest, she's been throwing shade at me for a little minute. You know when somebody like throws shade at you, but you can't really clock it? Because it's like, whatever, like, yeah. But when she had Alex and Marissa on her podcast, she kept liking comments that were mentioning, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yep. But that were mentioning me or mentioning just a couple things. And I want to play the clip too that she was doing that under, because this is not the first time that AD has used her platform to blame Black women for their experiences on the show. Let me bring that clip back. Where is this clip, child? Hold on.
For him to talk about just like the DC cast in general, like what we went through as a primarily Black cast. Like the mean messages we're getting are from people who look like us. And you know what? It's like I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit envious of you guys' season because there was so much Black love displayed. Whereas on mine, it was up to me and him to show the world what Black love looks like. And it's just like, I feel kind of like what you guys are saying, like the call came from the inside. Yeah. The way I was torn apart by women that look like us, that have gone through similar things. And it's not like the hate was dispersed. It was poured onto me and my relationship, the way I looked, the way I cried, the way I spoke, the way my hair was, the way my lashes were dangling. Like it all came from.
It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, because they would literally say, some people have said to me, like, you were the most authentic. Yeah. But then also some people are like, you were too authentic. Yeah. And it's like, which one do you want?
Like, if you just supported us the way that we're seeing other castmates and their communities support them, like we would all be winning here.
The way they sat there on that podcast episode and blamed Black women, mind you, AD, you and your leave out were on the same season as Chelsea. Do y'all remember Chelsea?
Nah, say it with your chest. Don't get quiet now. Don't get quiet now.
Do y'all remember Chelsea? Right, I do.
I said that she needed to go to a psychiatric ward. Like, I drug Chelsea through the pits. And you know who follows me? Chelsea. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't take it personal. We comment on what we see. First of all, Marissa, what are you talking about? You were a fan favorite until you went on the reunion and tried to stick your nose in somebody else's business. Like, you had a very good time. Ashley, I mean, AD. Alex had a good, like, Alex is at it. Like, okay, you were on there being mean to that man, but he sucked so bad that it overshadowed, like, your shortcomings. Like, you know what I mean? And your house was dirty. Like, we're not supposed to comment on that house. We're not supposed to comment on that house.
But also, too, let me say this. Anybody who watched my coverage of Alex, I always said, I was like, y'all need to apologize for Alex, because a lot of people claim that Alex was abusive to, I think his name was Tim.
him. Yeah.
I was like, no, guys, I don't think that's what it was. Even Alex DM'd me and was like, thank you. Like, we had conversations in the DM several times. We were supposed to chat, but Pariah at Kinetic told her she couldn't talk to me.
Same.
Even Tim was willing to talk to me, but Pariah didn't want him to talk to me because I was trying to get the truth. But I always use my platform to say that is not true. Marissa, you were just another bird. Like, here's the thing. In real life, let's just be honest. As Black women, we have to be comfortable with telling our friends when you're being a bird. Sis, you're being a bird.
Yeah.
AD, you were being a bird. Marissa, you were being a bird. That's not Black women attacking you.
Yeah.
That's Black women telling you, stop being a bird. We're watching a dating show. Like, when we're friends with our homegirls and our homegirls are making dumb decisions when they're dating, we say the same thing. Girl, you being a bird right now. No. Stop all that quack shit. But don't act like we didn't have more. Like, don't act like, oh, well, the cast members from other communities, they're getting dragged too.
Like, it's not like, oh, that Chelsea was just being uplifted. Like, she got dragged more than anybody that I know for saying she looked like Megan Fox. Like, we can openly comment and give our opinion openly without having to feel bad for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, and that's what Ashley actually said. She actually said that she wishes that we would have thought of her as her homegirl and given her love and support and spoke to her with love, because maybe the message would have been received differently. And that she was
literally what we did. That's literally what we did. Ashley, I gave you so much love. Your daddy was flirting with me on TikTok. Your daddy was making videos, Ashley, Big Bird. Your dad was on TikTok tagging me in videos. That's how much love I showed you. Your daddy was dry flirting with me on TikTok. So shut that shit the fuck up.
Yeah.
I remember even one time Mr. East had, what's going on with you and Ashley daddy?
That was good.
Like, my man was like, what's going on with you and like you bird is blind hoes. Y'all are delusional. I'm starting to think like you birds are crazy. But I'm gonna go back to you, AD, because somebody said in the comments, and I want to say it again, which is why Ashley's one thing, AD, you're the other one. With that whole, there's a loud presence on the internet. That was a dog whistle. That was a dog whistle. And now how I've been able to show y'all how AD didn't have that. She didn't have that energy for that white lady who slapped her breast and sent her white fiance to do the same. Sister,
Knitter.
You're a knitter.
Play the second clip that I sent you where they when they're talking about they this time now it's plural, that we were hiding behind, right?
Yes, let's get to that. Thank you. Let's get to that. You know, Ricky got her notes, child.
I'm like,
you got her notes. She said, hold on, we're gonna get through all these notes. We're gonna address everything tonight. Hold on.
So people are saying that they're making videos to protect the kids, or
I guess they're saying like, this is about the kids. Like we're digging so hard because it's about the children, but it stopped being about the children a long time ago. And it started being about clickbait to me. And I think that by them hiding behind that, it could mask what was really going on, which was a takedown for him and me, which,
why are we so passionate about other people's business like that to the point where it needs to be hurtful? Like, there's so many things that I saw. I was like, how is this helpful?
It was the most dehumanizing experience of my life.
How is this helpful?
It wasn't. And how does this help the kids? Because honestly, the more information that came out, the sadder I felt for the children for when they get to Google. You know what?
The children who you said they could wait till they're 18 to talk to their daddy, you were sad for them kids? It was the most dehumanizing experience. Mind you, you encourage their daddy to not talk to them.
Yeah.
Let me play that clip again. Let me play that clip again.
So people are saying that they're making videos to protect the kids, or what?
I guess they're saying like this is about the kids. Like we're digging so hard because it's it's about the children, but it stopped being about the children a long time ago, and it started being about clickbait to me.
Okay.
Like the lady really gives no fucks about them kids. Mind you, it stopped being around. It stopped being about the kids that I sent money to.
Right.
The kids that literally the internet broke Bry's Cash App. She couldn't even accept no more Cash Apps.
Right. Right.
All the Christmas money we were sending to them kids.
Yep.
It was never about the kids to you.
Right.
Because you a low down scoundrel. Let's just keep it a buck.
Yeah.
Only a low down scoundrel would hear and know all that information about this man abandoning them kids and then ask her and then assist him in calling them kids sperm babies. And then to you, AD, well, why is anyone's business? A bitch with a podcast microphone.
Right.
A bitch with a podcast microphone who's talking about people business.
Right. That was when I was like, why is it anyone's business? Like it's entertainment news. It's a story. Like you guys are like, what the hell would we want to take down Ashley for? Girl, like you are in entertainment news. Like you're literally in people's business, AD. Like, come on, be fucking for real right now.
Ricky, Ashley was about to buy NBC. Ashley was about to buy NBC, bitch.
It's
to take down. They trying to take a black woman down. She was about to buy NBC.
Okay. It's just so ridiculous to be like, oh, we're hot. First of all, let me, for the record, say I never said like, yes, we cared about the children. We've seen how devastating it is for them. We've seen that, they're no longer with their father. They were calling this man dad up until he left to the show, sending him happy birthday messages, talking to him after he got out of the pot, and then he just disappeared. Like anybody can sympathize with that. Okay. Like they don't have their dad for Christmas, send them some extra coin, like whatever. But it is also about the story that is unfolding. Like nobody's hiding behind the kids. Like nobody's digging. Like literally people are coming forward to tell their story. Netflix and Kinetic did not give Bri, did not give Deshaun, did not give the grandma a platform to speak and tell their truth. So you're mad at us because we did? Like it literally makes no sense. We're journalists. We're going to cover a story. Nobody's hiding behind anything. There's going to be 100 Ashleys, moving forward. Like there's going to be 100 Ashleys.
Literally. Like, and what would we gain by taking you down? Like, what were you doing for society that
who are you to take
who the
you
fuck
down?
are
I
you?
don't mean that in an offensive way, but like, who are you to where we're like, yeah, I'm gonna take
her.
Yeah,
I'm gonna destroy her.
Like everything we said was against Tyler, and it was the truth. And it was
literally. So I just, to me, it just was like just the commentary, everything. I just wanted to make sure like we had our receipts. We showed how we actually talked about Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
We supported you. Anything else that she said that we need to discuss? Because I ain't watched the damn.
Let's see. I think we kind of covered most of it. She did say, if you can give me grace, great. If you can't, I'm sorry. She did say she's not dating right now. She's healing, but that her DMs are open. And that she realized that her purpose of going on the show was to show women how to be resilient, how to rise up and still remain classy while doing it. That's what she said.
And I rise up, I like the flames, I rise. This bitch thinks she Andre Day.
That's what she said.
Oh my God. Ashley, you're a narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
You're a narcissist. And you know what? I actually think that Lila is what you deserve. I do. Now that like just we've seen just how you've handled all this, Lila is exactly like he's actually the type of man that you deserve. You're a narcissist. You are very, very prideful, and you are very, very arrogant.
Very arrogant, yeah.
And you are not wise.
No.
You're not smart either. You have smarts, but you're not smart. Yeah. I would have thought after all of this time, like after all of this time and all this content and the way that the internet has digested everything, that you would come back so humble, so
with a different approach, and she did it. Jessie, she said, I shit you not, she said that she wore the culture on her back during filming, and that she tried her best to present as smart, educated, classy, and didn't act ignorant, and that was all dismissed because of a man, and she hates that's what tainted it, and that the audience didn't not like her because of her, that we didn't like her because of her counterpart. That's what she said. She said she wore the culture on her back. I promise you. That's what she said.
Nah, I might have to play that clip.
She said that.
Hold on. We might have to play that for the audience.
It's towards the end.
This is wild.
Towards the end. She did say that. She literally said the term wore the culture on her back.
Who the fuck does this bitch think she is?
I don't know. I don't know.
No shade. No shade to you, Ashley.
She's delusional. I agree. I agree with the chat. I agree that she's delusional. Like her ego is so inflated. Like it's crazy. Her lack of accountability, her role in it all. She did not ever apologize for it. Like I said, she should have come, like you said, tail tucked, like really apologetic and just kind of like laughing and playing, like, kind of laughing at herself and just being like, I was wrong. I got it wrong. Like players fuck up. Like she didn't take that approach.
Hold on. I have to find this.
Yeah, she said, I wish I would have put that timestamp. And shortly after that,
did she say that word for word?
She wore the culture on her back during filming, and she tried her best to present as educated, classy, didn't act ignorant, and all of that was dismissed because of a man. She hates that. That's what tainted it. That's what she said.
Hold on.
Oh, it's actually not far after the 42-minute mark, because the 42-minute mark is where she talks about us and takes a dig at us. And in my notes, wore the culture on her back is right after that. So it's I'm gonna say around like maybe around the 44, 45-minute mark.
Bitch, hold on. Hold on. I have to play this. Hold on.
She said it.
Hold on. Okay.
Culture on her back. She said she wore the culture on her back. She sure did.
Because look, you win, we win, I win, we all win, right? Yeah. And I wore the culture on my back when I'm.
I told you. I done told you. So said it.
We all win, right? Yeah. And I wore the culture on my back when I was filming. I made sure I didn't act ignorant. I made sure I represented myself classy.
When I said this is a DEI podcast, see, I be like, what y'all gonna have to start. Y'all gonna have to give Ricky and I our 10s. This is DEI talk. I wore the culture on my back. I made sure that I represented myself classy. I wasn't ignorant. What does that mean? What does that mean, babe?
Right.
What are you saying?
Right. Like,
what
are
does
you
that
saying?
mean?
Yeah, like, what are you saying? Like, are you saying that, like, you know,
oh my God, she's a knitter.
Yeah, like, are you saying that you that Black women are not classy and that they act ignorant? And what else did she say? They're not educated. Like,
you know, she said it. You know, educated. Oh, let me. Oh, this is good, bitch. Hold on. Oh, this is good. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Ignorant. I made sure I represented myself classy, educate all of the.
Mm. 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 Mm.
Yeah.
My Lord.
Yep.
This is like, this is DEI talk.
Yeah. Then she says it was dismissed because I'm a man and she hates that's what tainted it. That we don't like her, not because of her own actions, but because of her counterpart. Again, not taking accountability for her role in anything. We don't like you because of Tyler. Like, no, you literally missed the whole fucking point. That's not even why people turned against you. You don't even know why people turned against you.
Jesus wept. And then in the same podcast, you have AD saying there's a loud presence. You know, there's a loud presence. DEI talk.
Yeah.
DEI talk. Let's play that.
The house.
Yes, it did.
And I don't want to say no one's name in particular, but there is a very loud presence on the internet that
DEI talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two birds chirping.
Yeah. It was, I'm glad you didn't watch it because it was a waste of time. Like, there were just moments where I was waiting for an apology, waiting for some type of acknowledgement from Ashley. Again, a half-ass apology to Bri. You know, again, like you said, when you did find out that these were his children, when you did find out that he had been lying, what did you do for those children? No, nothing, because to you, it wasn't your problem. And I don't know. I feel like Tyler might have something that kind of reveals that she had more of a part in it. But what she did, she low key, which I felt like it was a little threat. Like, she did say she has every weapon in her arsenal to destroy Tyler. I felt like that was her way of saying, like, okay, if she comes out, if he comes out and says anything against her, she has some, you know, receipts of her own or tea. But it's like, there's nothing that you can do that's going to destroy Tyler any more than he's already destroyed. Like, you know.
What did you say that Lila's doing now?
So somebody did, and this is unconfirmed, but somebody did message me and said that he was their DoorDash driver, that he had delivered their food. But she didn't get a picture. So I just left it there. But at least he's employed.
Somebody said it before you did, actually, in the chat. Somebody said DoorDash. Mm-hmm. So it might be right.
Yeah. That means he has a vehicle. That means he has a job.
Well, that don't mean that. That don't mean that. He might be driving somebody else's vehicle now.
That's true.
Lila gives me, can I hold your car for while you at work? He definitely gives me that.
He definitely. Okay.
Yes. Hold your car.
He said at some point that he was placed on a leave from his job for a performance review. It's like, you don't have to pretend like he has a job. It's okay. We know he did it. You know, we know he did it.
Remember, he didn't have no job. He was actually he was at a startup. Was it a startup company that was building walls or something like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Building partitions. Mm-hmm. Remember, he was leading a company that was building partitions. Like, just lying.
Mm-hmm.
Just lying. So in conclusion, do you have any that last bit? I wasn't loud. I was not y'all being that DEI. If y'all who watch the podcast, and then if you're watching this live and you see like all the receipts we brought forward, if y'all don't realize that literally AD is Kinetic's Raccoon, she's their DEI Raccoon, I don't know what to tell y'all.
It's a connect. I mean, I knew that from the jump with just her setup and the interviews that they were getting. I was like, oh, okay. And initially I was like, oh, that's good for her. Like they want their own Nick Vial in a sense. And it's like, they're going to use AD to do it. And she even said on her page, like when she was presented with the opportunity, she took it. So that right there lets me know that you were presented with an opportunity from Netflix and Kinetic to do this podcast. You didn't just say, I'm going to do this podcast and put the production of it all together. And so it's like you're not going to get certain truths from her, and you know, she's going to say what they want her to say. And but you could have saved this. Like you wasted an hour of people's time. Like I don't think it was helpful to AD. I don't think it was helpful to Ashley. Like it really didn't do anything for either one of them. But I do have to ask you, like, would you interview Tyler on your
I absolutely would.
Okay.
I absolutely would. But the only way I would do it is if he brought receipts for everything he said.
Yeah.
Because we would have to ask him. First and foremost, he would have to do it with both of us. I wouldn't do it by myself. Because I feel like you broke the story, and that's only fair. And I don't like the way that he's talked about you. I don't like the way she's talked about you.
Yeah, we got into a little like TikTok.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. And also, just side note, some folks will watch this and be like, "Oh, y'all ain't have to address this." No, when Lateris interviewed Liler, we gave Lateris a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give AD and her leave out more smoke.
Right.
Simply, like literally just off of the strength of her blaming Black women and blaming Black women creators for what happened to Ashley and calling out Black women. That's something that she does continuously.
Yeah.
I played another clip for y'all. She does that continuously.
Yeah.
So I wasn't about to get on live and not give Miss Leave out no smoke. You gonna get the smoke. You gonna get it.
Right.
It's not my fault that you couldn't say it with your chest. You gonna get it. You should have just shut the fuck up and just ask Miss Bird her questions. So what's going on with you and Tyler? What did he do? Oh, for real? And just kept it moving. You didn't have to bring up nothing regarding us. And some people would say, oh, well, she didn't give no names. She didn't need to. Let's not be dense. The entire comment section, to be honest, mostly said my name.
Yeah.
Mostly said my name.
Yeah.
And then it was like, nah, Ricky broke this. Ricky, like, it said our names. Yeah. Everybody knew who Miss Leave Out was talking about. Point blank, period.
Right.
Don't play with me. Go play with her Leave Out. Don't play with me.
Yeah.
I gave Lateris that smoke for letting Liler get on his podcast and lie and use Jesus to do it. I'm gonna have the same smoke for AD and her Raccoon DEI podcast that she has with Kinetic. Period.
Period. And I think just like Lateris wasn't prepared for his interview with Tyler and he was able to sleep through the cracks, I feel the same way with this podcast. AD didn't know enough about the situation to really call out some of those moments where I don't believe Ashley was being very truthful, like, you know, so or she was just changing her narrative and trying to go a different way of like victim. I didn't know, like the I didn't know mentality is not going to work because we know you knew. You told us you knew. You told us you did your research. So that narrative doesn't work, but we didn't get any real answers. So it was essentially a waste of time.
I'm going to tell you this. AD and her Leave Out was lying because how did you not see the videos and you didn't know what was going on, but you knew that there was a loud presence on the internet checking daily? That hoe knew. You soft ass hoe, you knew. You knew. You saw my content, you saw Ricky's, you didn't want to acknowledge us for whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
Before this live, I have never said anything out of pocket about AD.
Yeah.
Never. I've talked about you the same way I talk about every Love is Blind contestant. I do not know you personally. I do not care about you personally. I have been covering Love is Blind since 2020. One of my closest friends is literally the only person who actually matters, the only couple who actually came out of Love is Blind that matters, aside from Tiffany and Brett.
Right.
Lauren, Cameron, my dogs.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
Okay. I don't know you. Don't have anything personal against you.
Right.
I've used my platform to congratulate you. When you got engaged, I congratulated you. When you were on your season, yes, I said you were a bird. I've called many people birds on dating shows.
Yeah.
If that was so personal for you,
mm-hmm.
I've had people like Jackie from I think season 4. She's DM'd me, left me comments like, yo, out. Like she called me out.
Yeah.
Chelsea called me out.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, call me out.
Yeah.
But to sit there and use that type of language, that dog whistling language, there's a loud presence on the internet, cruel, disgusting. Meanwhile, you're doing this on a conversation that centers a man who abandoned 3 Black children. And you're doing that while you're conversing with your twin bird, who also was calling those 3 Black kids sperm babies, to use that conversation to throw microaggressive shade towards me. You're a knitter. Period. You a soft ass hoe and you a knitter. Period. I'm gonna put an at on it. I'm not gonna be a soft ass hoe. I'm from Miami-Dade County. I'm gonna put an at on it. You knew what you were doing. Your entire comment section said my name. And shout out to the comment section, because Nationwide might be on your side, AD, but the comment section was not.
It's not.
It was not. They peeped it. I saw even comments that was like, oh, we ride at dawn for the loud presence on the internet. Yeah. Everybody knew who you were talking about, and it just wasn't warranted. In that conversation, it just wasn't warranted. It made no sense. If you had a problem, you could have DM'd me. If you like, I don't gotta come on your platform, but you could have just DM'd me. Hey, girl, you said this about me, whatever. And I'm like, hey, girl, that wasn't my intention. Never meant to harm you. These are just my thoughts. And I've apologized to folks.
And that's the thing is, I've had that happen before, where somebody's like a little taken back by my recap, and I say, oh, well, you know, if it's a character that's portrayed and it's heavily edited, you really shouldn't be offended, because this isn't who you are. This is what production wanted us to see, and they wanted a reaction from it. I think everybody should understand that at this point. Now, Ashley, I get it. This was your real life. This was beyond the scope of what happened on television, but your actions were unacceptable, and we don't have to accept them just because we're Black creators. Like, we broke the story. I'm sorry if that hurt your feelings, but at the end of the day, it got you out of a shitty marriage. You know what I mean? It got you out of something you probably shouldn't have been in the first place. And if we're wrong for that, oh well. Like, and to the people who are saying that I did talk bad about her, I did. I don't deny that. I don't deny that I did talk bad about her on a personal level after she came clean at the reunion and took a stance. Like, yeah, like
we didn't agree.
We didn't agree. I don't have to agree with everything just because you're a woman of color. Like, it's just.
Somebody said she did it for AD did it for Chelsea. Yeah, I know. AD did it for Chris Colleen, Pariah, Chelsea. Because one thing about AD, white women can slap her titties. White men can slap her titties. And that ain't cruel. That's not disgusting.
Yeah.
But Black women literally exposing Love is Blind for putting a swindle, like literally a love scammer on the show. That was cruel and disgusting.
That was cool.
Play with your leave out, not with me.
They set you up. They knew that this man had kids. They knew about, they had to know during a background check, all of the debt he was in. They knew. But there's no blame placed on them. So
literally.
Whatever.
So in conclusion,
you're not gonna stop us from telling our stories. You're not gonna stop us goes from Conquer and shit. There, like I said, there's gonna be a story every season, and everybody's gonna take offense to the shit that comes out about them. Then don't go on reality TV. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Just don't go on there.
Yeah.
Like it's like we make content. If you go on my YouTube, I've been making content for years about dating shows. Like that's the bulk of my content.
Same.
The thing was AD thought she was gonna say what she said, and she thought the internet was gonna side with that. You know, some people see how folks talk about you, Ricky, or folks talk about me, and they think like, oh, if I say this, the internet gonna side with that. No, the internet knows one thing about me. Over here, it's always Black Women's Month over here. I'm always talking about issues that affect Black women, literally all the time. I've lost partnerships. I've lost gigs. I don't care. I don't care. And when your DEI podcast is over, I will still be here in my own little cottage, in my own little corner, in my own little chair. I can be whatever I want to be. There's no one puppeteering me. There's no one pulling the strings, telling me what to eat, telling me what to drink, telling me what to say. Shout out to Real Housewives of Atlanta and Nene. Ain't nobody puppeteering me. I do as I please.
Same.
And if you don't like it, this is just not for you.
Right. Did I tell you that AD's podcast actually reached out to my co-host? So, you know, I have the Reality Seats podcast, and my co-host her name is Ashley.
Yes, I know Ashley.
She runs Reality Ashley.
Yeah, she's so good.
Very, very, you know, popular reality TV page. What's the reality podcast reached out to her, not to the podcast page, but reached out to her and invited her on the pod. I think it was a ploy to get her to share some clips, like some of AD's clips, but they were like, we would like to have you on the pod if you're ever in LA. Not me, but her.
It's so shady.
Yeah. So
it's so shady. It's like, it's because they know it's connected to you. So it's like, sis, listen, congratulations on your DEI opportunity. I wish you nothing. I promise you, I wish you and your leave out nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. But play with your leave out. Don't play with me. Point blank, period. That's where I'm gonna leave this at. I'm gonna put an ad on it because I ain't no soft ass hoe. Point blank, period. Do you want to say anything before we let the children? You know,
no, I'm glad we got back together to
me too. Me too. When does Denver come out? Somebody part of production for Denver. Actually, I met them the other day. I have a shoot tomorrow for. I'm not gonna say the brand, but I'm doing something in conjunction with a big brand and BET Awards. And somebody that's on the production team, she's like, "Hey, I see all your Love Is Blind takes." I don't know if she was a part of production or if she's part of Netflix, because I have a really good relationship with folks at Netflix. Kinetic hates my guts. Kinetic hates me, but I have a really good relationship with folks at Netflix and my strong Black lead and all that. But she was asking me about like Denver, so I mean, apparently it's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah.
So. I know you already got tea on that. I'm gonna just be waiting.
I think in October. So there's then
I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, I'll wait. Yeah, like it's too early to spill any tea. We don't even know who the people are. Yeah. It's gonna be a crazy season. We'll definitely catch up during the next season, and obviously Perfect Match, because AD is gonna be. I'm gonna cover the Perfect Match. AD is gonna be on the Perfect Match. But it's just always so much fun to catch up with you. And if Tyler does agree to an interview, let's tag him,
Do you think I should block him and DM? I feel like that's just diabolical.
I feel like you guys need to go comment under his post and be like, you guys need to talk to Jessie Woo and Storytime with Ricky. That's those are the only girls that you cannot lie to. And if you want your word to be heard at all with any grain of truth, like come with the receipt, and we won't let him lie. We would have to like totally pre-interview him and be like, what the hell are you gonna say? Because let me hear this. Let me tell you if I think it's a lie.
like just a little quick pre-interview, like, okay, what you got going on?
Yeah.
And then we could get into the things. But I mean, listen, if y'all can go in his comments, let him know. Jessie said she would like to talk to you. He could email me at thejessiewoo.com, thejessiewoo@gmail.com. He could email me. I'm gonna look for his email too and see if I can find it. But if he emails me at thejessiewoo@gmail.com, I will give him a shot. But he has to be willing to speak with me and Ricky. That's my only.
We'll hold his foot to the fire. We promise you guys that.
And we promise, Laterra's told us we can be a little combative.
Oh, he did tell us that we were
combative. He getting dragged right now because his podcast is just off the rails.
Yeah.
But we promise not to be combative, but we do promise to hold you accountable to everything that you've said.
Yeah.
Everything that you've said. So if you, Lila, if you're not going to tell the truth and if you don't want to address everything that you've done, I think you should just move on with your life, keep door dashing, and let the force be with you.
Yes. Period. I second that.
Okay. On that note, y'all, Ricky, let everybody know where to follow you and how to support you.
Of course. Storytime with Ricky on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. And I do have a podcast. It is the Reality Receipts Podcast. Give us a follow on Spotify. We are also on YouTube, and that is where you can find me.
Period. And y'all know y'all can find me, the Jessie Woo, on all platforms. So I'm thankful for all of y'all. At one point, there was 8,000 people in here at one point. So literally, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for showing up for us. And I do want to thank all you guys who were in all the comment sections, tagging us and asking for justice for us and having our back. Because at the end of the day, no BS. We're here to cover the dating show. And if we feel that something needs to be covered, especially when it comes to shining a light on the mistreatment of Black women on this show or any other dating show, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
And if you're not in support of that, that is okay. You don't have to watch.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch. But over here, we cover what's happening in dating shows. And if there are things that are happening that are intentionally harmful to Black women, we're going to call it out. We don't have DEI platforms.
Sure don't.
Period.
We're
going to call it out, and we're going to make sure that our sisters understand what is happening. So many of you that watch our content are probably going to be future dating show contestants.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
We're looking out for y'all. It's not just about clickbait and covering. We're looking out for y'all, literally, hey, this is what's happening. And then a lot of these things reflect what is happening in real life.
Right.
With, dating, with us, with Black women and all that. And we're able to address those concerns. So whether it be Bird is Blind, whether it be Marriage at First Sight, whatever it is, whether it be Sneaky Link, I ain't watched Sneaky Link.
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it. It came out today. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm gonna watch it. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever it is, we're going to talk about it. That's what we do.
Yeah.
And we enjoy what we do.
Yes.
And we're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. So if you don't like it, don't watch. That's it.
Period. Period. So love y'all, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Take care of yourselves and each other.
I just turn the water on, big old flex. Shit you never